Good afternoon and welcome to your 4 to 5. I'm Maddie Gardner here with Taheshah Moise and Eric Chilton, who are joining us from home today. Again, we are practicing social distancing here at WFMY News 2 and staying home when we can. Of course, we are live streaming our entire newscast on Facebook. This is an interactive show, so we want to connect with you. Use our hashtag 4 to 5 and we'll chat with you during the commercial breaks.
North Carolina health officials have completed more than 79,000 coronavirus tests since the start of testing in our state. Our state has seen 6,700 cases of coronavirus and nearly 180 deaths. As we take a closer look at some of the cases and numbers reported in our area, Alamance County is reporting 49 cases, no deaths. Davidson County, 94 cases, 2 deaths. Forsyth County, 130 cases, 96 recoveries, 5 deaths. Guilford County, 191 cases, 13 deaths. As we move over to Montgomery County, they've seen 18 cases, 1 death. Randolph County has seen 77 cases, 2 deaths. Rockingham County, 19 cases, 2 deaths. Stokes County, 10 cases, no deaths. Over in Surrey County, 17 cases, no deaths. Wilkes County, 4 cases, 1 death. And finally in Yadkin County, 11 cases, 1 death.
Let's get you caught up on the headlines today with your 4 to 5 roundup. Oil prices are now below zero as the demand for energy collapses during the pandemic. Traders want to avoid having excess amounts of crude oil and know where to store it. Storage facilities are nearly full of crude oil right now. Big oil producers say they'll cut back on production to balance supply and demand. Shake Shack, a national burger chain, is returning $10 million in federal loans. The company says they're giving back the money so restaurants that need it can get some more help. Shake Shack received separate funding last week from the Federal Payment Protection Program. It gives loans to restaurants with no more than 500 employees per location, which is why Shake Shack originally qualified. Well, WRIGHTSVILLE Beach is open again with some limitations. The beach reopened for water sports, walking, jogging, and swimming. No more than 10 people are allowed in an exercise group, and everyone has to follow social distancing guidelines. You can't go to the beach to lay out in the sun, fish, or play games. You can't bring beach towels, blankets, chairs, umbrellas, tents, or coolers. And dogs are not allowed. Restrooms and parking lots are closed, and there are no lifeguards on duty. People who violate the rules could face a $500 fine. And downtown Greensboro wants to give you a Greensboro getaway. For the rest of the month, you can win by playing virtual bingo. Go to Downtown Greensboro Incorporated's website to download one of 3 different bingo cards. Complete that card by April 30th, and you'll be entered for a chance to win a staycation. Prizes include stays at local hotels, food and beverages, salon services, and other prizes.
Durham County now joins a growing list of counties across the country that are now requiring residents to wear facial coverings when out in public, like possibly a mask. Durham County and county leaders added the amendment to their joint stay-at-home order in an effort to strengthen social distancing policies and prevent the spread of COVID-19. This means coverings will be required for people visiting essential businesses like grocery stores and public transportation. In the meantime, the CDC at this point is only recommending that people wear face masks when out and about in public, but I wanted to know if you think it should be required everywhere. So I asked you all on my Facebook today, and the discussion really veered both ways. Not many people seeing eye to eye on this. Everyone kind of having their own opinion. So let's see what you all have to say today. Tila writes, yes, if it's going to help save lives. James writes, no, everyone should be able to make a decision on their own health concerns. Now, if you are diagnosed with COVID or have been around someone who has them, then they should stay home. Marilyn writes, it's really not a bad idea. Ruth and Albert Johnson write, even mandatory in places they aren't being worn correctly, hanging around the neck or only over the mouth, but not the nose. I wear mine regardless of what others do. I feel like that's kind of a good approach to take, you know, if it's not required at this point, Maddie, but if that's something you want to do, then go ahead and do that. But like they mentioned, there is the right way and the wrong way to wear a mask. And that's why we've been reiterating the importance of, you know, washing your hands before you put it on, cover the nose down to the chin.
Right. Absolutely. You know, I have been following the CDC guidelines since they came out and said not just health professionals need to wear masks, but everyone when they go out in public needs to have something over their nose and mouth. You know, I think private businesses, they are free to enforce whatever they want. I think it's a little bit tricky when a government says you have to wear one out in public. But again, we are in these weird times where stay-at-home orders can mean different things for different communities. But I am following those CDC guidelines, Taheshah, like you said, covering the nose and the mouth, just because I don't know if I'm carrying something or, you know, if I cough, I don't want my germs to get everywhere, which is the point of wearing one of those masks.
Yeah.
All right, well, it is time for our question of the day. We want you to grab your phone and vote right now. State leaders around the nation, they're considering ways to reopen their economy. So we want to know what you think about this. Should states reopen now, or should we stay at home a little bit longer? You can use our app, WFMY News 2, to cast your vote, or go to WFMY.com/vote-now. Small groups of protesters are now pushing for states to reopen. There's a group here in North Carolina, but a recent poll found that most Americans worry states will reopen too fast. Last week, Governor Roy Cooper said our state needs more testing to reopen in a safe way. Many other governors have said the same thing. President Donald Trump says his administration is working with states on testing.
We're working with them on testing. We're working with them on whatever they need. I don't think they need ventilators anymore.
Well, the grassroots group Reopen NC did ask Governor Cooper's office to clarify if protesting under the stay-at-home order is considered a violation. The group says they're planning another rally near the governor's mansion tomorrow, and they'll protest every Tuesday if they need to. Taking a look at how you're voting right now, 83% of you say we need to stay at home a little bit longer. 17% say the states need to reopen right now.
So I think, Maddie, when you look at this, that this is just my gut feeling. This is not based on science or you know what I'm seeing with the number of cases going up or down. I just have that feeling that it's still a little early to do that. I do worry about the economy. I really do worry about the economy, that how do we keep things going if we can't operate? And at some point, we're going to have to kind of cut our losses and go ahead and ease into this. But I am a little concerned that right now, today, is a little too early.
Yeah, I feel like state leaders especially are stuck between a rock and a hard place with this one, Eric. So many different opinions on this. Yes. If we reopen too soon, could there be another uptick in cases? If we don't reopen, what happens to small businesses? I know several other states are working together on the West Coast to figure out what's best for their economies. Texas is starting to reopen some places right now. So I think it will be coming in the next few days. But again, that is up to state leadership, and President Trump has really given them some guidelines for this, but has left it up to the states to decide when that happens.
Yeah, and I think it's going to come down to that. Every state will have to make their own assessments.
Yeah. All right, let's check in now with Christian Morgan for a forecast.
I'll tell you what, it's been kind of a two-part weather day. The morning started pretty nasty and pretty gross. We had quite a bit of rain across the area this morning. That rain, however, though, has moved away from us. That is the good news. It's now pushing east across the eastern portion of the state down along the coast, and we've actually got a pretty nice look across the Triad right now. There is sun, there are some clouds, and it has turned out to be a really nice spring day. Temperature-wise, most of us are in the upper 50s, lower 60s right now, 50 in Greensboro, 51 in Winston-Salem, 53 down in Asheboro as well. And I'll tell you what, it took a while for us to get here. Our temperatures were pretty straight line through the morning. Once the rain finally got out of here, though, we saw temperatures warm up, and I think we'll top out in the lower 60s before it's all said and done this afternoon. Clear skies tonight, but with that wet ground, it's possible we see some patchy fog developing. Temperatures right around 50. Clouds, 72 for the afternoon high. A stray shower can't be totally ruled out, but the big story tomorrow is going to be the winds. Gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour are possible in the afternoon. We'll have all those details and your 7-day forecast coming up.
Coming up next on your 4 to 5, a new study shows the demand for toilet paper is high. Yeah, that is no surprise if you've been to the store anytime soon. It started because of panic buying during this pandemic, but stores are still struggling to keep toilet paper on shelves. Keep chatting with us. We are live on WFMY News 2's Facebook page. Have you been able to find toilet paper, paper towels, Clorox wipes? If so, let us know where. We'll be right back.
Let me know. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Any buzzing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay.
Hey there, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hello, hello.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. Nationwide, toilet paper is nowhere to be found. Panic buying at the start of this pandemic started a shortage, but toilet paper has really yet to return to shelves. Naomi Rucham explains.
Shelves usually filled with paper products remain empty, and many stores continue to limit how much you can purchase.
When people see this kind of scarcity, it's like, I don't want to run out. Let me buy some extra just in case.
Harvard professor Willie Shih says hoarding is a major reason toilet paper is scarce. Sales doubled in mid-March, according to the market research firm IRI.
The problem is that this gets kind of out of control, and the manufacturers, and particularly the truckers and the logistics companies, have to keep up with this.
But Americans are not only buying out of panic, they actually need more. People are no longer going to the restroom at school or work. While we're home 24/7, toilet paper maker Georgia Pacific estimates we're using 40% more. You can find calculators that tell you just how much TP you'll need. This one estimates a 4-person household will go through 20 rolls in about 16 days. And with retailers running low, consumers are now turning to industrial suppliers.
With the onset of the crisis, most of our customers now are residential consumers.
Rich Hebert is the CEO of CleanItSupply.com, which sells those giant rolls to businesses. While there are smaller sizes, much of it sold out, and what's left ships by the carton.
Now, a carton has 96 rolls. As long as they're willing to buy it in bulk and have a place to store it, we can satisfy their needs.
TP makers have increased production, but it could be several weeks before stores can add more stock. Naomi Rucham, CBS News, New York.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar wants to cancel all rent and mortgage payments during the coronavirus pandemic. Let's dive a little deeper into what she wants, because this is as unemployment continues to rise across the nation, meaning that many families will struggle to make payments here in the coming months. The National Multifamily Housing Council says 16% of families living in apartments were not able to pay rent. Again, this would be a rent and mortgage cancellation. You would not owe that money back once you're back on your feet. The federal government would cover payments, so lenders can still get their money. Omar wants this proposal included in the next stimulus package Congress is working on.
So President Trump is enacting the Defense Production Act. This will create more swabs for coronavirus testing, it seems. The president says that with this move, the U.S. will get swabs more easily. Vice President Mike Pence met with all 50 governors today to discuss how this will impact testing in each state. Pence says he feels this step will help states move forward into phase one of the Trump administration's guidelines to reopening. Governor Cooper says North Carolina is working on diversifying testing supplies so labs aren't all waiting for supplies from the same company.
And the Trump administration and Congress are working on a deal to help small businesses and hospitals. The $450 billion aid package would give money to small business loan programs that ran out of money. It includes money for hospitals and coronavirus testing. The Small Business Administration has approved more than $1 million in loans so far. Those loans offer forgiveness if employers retain workers or rehire people they laid off. Don't forget, we continue the conversation during the breaks on our Facebook page, WFMY News 2. Use our hashtag 4to5 and we'll see you there. Mic check for Maddie.
Hello, mic check 1 2 3 1 2 3 4 5. Hello, hello. Check, check, check.
Jalen, can I get a mic check?
Mic check. What's going on, Tasha? How you doing today?
You know, we all feel so confined these days, and we need a little something to lift our spirits. How about this? How about a slushy truck delivered right to your street? It is absolutely possible these days. Take a look.
You know, each week I try to focus on small businesses. We're trying to give them a helping hand out there because they are trying to give you a helping hand. Nobody knows that better than Emily, who's with Sunset Slush in High Point. Tell us what you guys are and what you're doing during all this mess.
Okay, so we've been going out to some of the local neighborhoods with our event cart and setting up there. And it's been really exciting to see the families will come out and they kind of sit in different driveways in the neighborhood. They'll come order from us, they'll kind of distance themselves from each other and sit 6 feet apart. And so it's just kind of been neat to be able to go to them, just see them fellowship together and get out a little bit, but not have to get out into the community, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I have noticed that when these food trucks or food cart like yours show up in a neighborhood, you're probably getting a more excited reaction than you ever do before all this COVID mess.
Yes, we really are. I mean, people are coming out by the droves, and even here at the shop, we've gotten so much local support. Here, the shop is fairly new. We just opened it in September, and so the word's kind of still getting out about us having a shop. And it's been so neat to see the families will come to watch a DVD in their car while they eat a dessert from us. So it's just kind of been neat to see how everybody's kind of adapting and doing different things to be able to be together, but not be together.
Yes. Well, Emily, thank you. Best of luck, and we'll steer everybody to come check out Sunset Slush in High Point.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
If you're interested in having Sunset Slush on your block, we have their contact info. It's in this story on WFMYnews2.com. And don't think for a minute, Maddie Gardner, that I haven't already reached out to see if they can come to my neighborhood.
Well, you just let me know. I'll do a drive-by and pick up one if that happens. Yeah, I've seen a lot of communities, apartment complexes, neighborhoods, they've been getting food trucks out because, yeah, you think about restaurants not having a lot of businesses. Right now, food trucks aren't having a lot of business either because they're mostly at events or food truck rodeos, and of course, those are all canceled.
Yeah, it's true, and they're looking for it too. They'll come to your neighborhood, some of them.
It's really smart. All right, well, don't forget, we are chatting with you right now on Facebook. WFMY News 2's Facebook page is ready to get that conversation going. If you're spending more time at home surrounded by your family, we want to know how you're bonding during that time. Use our hashtag 4to5 and let us know. Our digital guru, Jalen Gilkey, he's right here. He's smiling. He's ready to read your comments next right after the break. So get them in. Again, use our hashtag 4to5, and we'll be right back.
Hello, this must work this time. Third time is the charm. Okay, I'm gonna try to not move. I think maybe what was happening before is I was further back than I should have been, and so it was coming unplugged a little bit. So I think that was the issue. Okay. Okay.
Depressed, weary, just worn. By myself, and the camera I'll be using.
I'll tell you what, it's been a two-part weather day, pretty soggy, pretty gross this morning, but that has since cleared out, and here's a look over the triad right now. We have sunshine, we have a few clouds. It's a perfect spring afternoon. How about that? We went from really, really nasty to really, really nice. And temperature-wise, well, we've actually kind of rebounded and recovered, too. You can see what's left of our rain and our storm system now pushing off the coast of North Carolina, so even the coastal areas of the Carolinas are starting to improve as well and starting to dry out. Temperatures were actually pretty straight-lined across the board this morning. We stayed right around 49 to 50 degrees while it was raining. But once it finally cleared out of here, we got some sunshine. Temperatures did start to recover, and now we're in the upper 50s and lower 60s across the area. 60 in Greensboro, 60 in Asheboro, 63 in Lexington, and 64 in High Point as well. Here's what's going on. That cold front that brought us the rain sliding away from us, and we have high pressure building in. Now, we are going to have a return to nice weather for tomorrow and Wednesday. There is this other cold front that will cross our area tomorrow. Now, it's a really dry cold front, not a lot of moisture with it, so for the most part we stay dry. Just about a 20% chance of getting a stray shower in the afternoon. It's not going to be a big deal if we do, but for the most part, sun and clouds for your Tuesday afternoon. It will be really windy. The winds will pick up from the morning into the afternoon. Gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour are possible for your Tuesday afternoon. Then after that, high pressure builds back in. We have a nice Wednesday, but then we're watching our next weather system that will approach Thursday with some rain and the possibility for some thunderstorms. That's something that we're still trying to nail down all the details on, and of course we will keep you updated as we do that. Tonight, right in the upper 40s to around 50 degrees under mostly clear skies, and as the ground is still soggy, we have those clear nights. It's possible we get some patchy fog to develop, which could be an issue for your morning commute tomorrow. Partly sunny, 72 for the high tomorrow, and again, just a 20% chance of a stray shower in the afternoon. For the most part, it's a nice weather day. Wednesday is nice too. We're watching Thursday. That rain could linger into Friday morning. Temperatures in the upper 60s to right around 70.
Christian, thank you. Of course, this pandemic has brought some of us closer together in different ways. We're reaching out to our neighbors. We're finding creative ways to enjoy time together, if that's virtually or not. We ask you to share ways that your family is bonding on WFMY News 2's Facebook page. Jalen, we're starting to see those comments. Share with us, how are people getting closer together? Yeah, it seems like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties there, but we've seen a couple of comments on WFMY News 2's Facebook page. People are playing games with each other, just spending more time with grandchildren on FaceTime and things of that nature. We'll work out and troubleshoot what's happening with Jalen's shot there. Of course, working from home, there's some different factors that play into that. But don't fear, we are going to break. We will be right back. Keep chatting with us in the comments section of WFMY News 2's Facebook page.
What is going on today? The gremlins. It must be a Monday. Okay.
Looks like you're still dialed in. I couldn't hear anything. I don't know what was going on. I'm still dialed in now. Hold on. Yeah. Let me undo my thing and see if it comes. Because I heard you guys and it cut out before Maddie even started talking. No, that was perfect because I brought you back right then. It was, and I'm watching the stream.
Hey, Taheshah, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hopefully.
Hey there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Check, check, check.
Hey there, make sure that this is a tight shot of me in the V-Homes because I'm going to have money pulled out of my hand. Thanks.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. I'm Maddie Gardner here with Eric Chilton and Taheshah as we continue to stay at home as much as we can. They are anchoring from their living rooms and their offices, respectively. Technology is truly a great thing. Hey, don't forget, we are still connected with you on our Facebook page, WFMY News 2. Our show is live the entire time. You can comment with us, and we are all on there commenting back, so we'd love to chat with you this afternoon. Just use our hashtag 4 to 5. Well, let's start the show off while getting you caught up with your 4 to 5 roundup, the headlines of the day. The Department of Homeland Security is extending the travel ban for 30 more days. They released a statement today saying non-essential travel is still not allowed. Canada and Mexico are also extending the ban. They say restricted travel limits the spread of coronavirus. Canadian police say 18 people died in a mass shooting, including the suspect. Authorities say the suspected gunman dressed as a police officer and made his car look like a cruiser before he shot into people's houses and set them on fire. Police believe the gunman's first target was a planned attack, and then he started attacking at random. An actual police officer is among those killed. The gunman was arrested at a gas station after the attack, but police say he later died. They did not explain how. It is now the deadliest shooting in Canadian history. Winston-Salem Forsyth County Schools is asking you to help honor their senior class. Tonight, all high school football stadiums will be lit up at 8:20 p.m. for 20 minutes to honor the class of 2020. It's part of a nationwide movement called Shine a Light. If you live in the school district, they want you to turn your porch light on. The stadiums will not be open even though the lights are on. Now, if you're wondering about the timing, today is the 20th day of the month, and 8:20 p.m. in military time is 2020. The Alamance County Health Department says families with young kids need your help. The Healthy Babies Coalition of Alamance County is now hosting a virtual baby shower to collect diapers and wipes for families in need. Diapers and wipes cannot be bought using SNAP or WIC benefits. If you'd like to help, there's an Amazon wish list where you can buy those items, and your purchases will ship directly to volunteers who will organize those donations. You can find the link on our website, WFMYnews2.com. And if you know a family who could use some help, message City Gate Dream Center on Facebook.
If you're getting your stimulus check in the mail, we do have some good news to share with you on this Monday. 80 million stimulus checks have been mailed out today. Many received money in the form of direct deposit last week. Now, this is the first wave of mail checks. Not all checks will reach families, though, by the end of this week. That could take until the end of the month. In the meantime, one Triad company is working to help other businesses in the area. Triad Heating and Cooling is offering what they're calling the golden standard. So here's how to get a piece of that, right? All you have to do is buy a gift card in Randolph County for a non-essential business or restaurant in the area. Text the gift card information to the company. Take a picture of not the code, but just how much you spent on the card, and they will match your gift card. Businesses will send a gift card in the mail, matching up to $50. They're doing this for the first 50 people. The limit is just one gift card per home.
And weather-wise, things have improved quite a bit since this morning. It's kind of been a two-part weather day. It was a really soggy morning, steady, even heavy rain at times, and we've actually cleared out enough to get some sunshine, just a few clouds in the area right now. But it's actually ended up being a really nice springtime afternoon. You can see what's left of our rain pushing off the coast, and even they are starting to improve along the coast of North Carolina as well. Temperature-wise, most of us right around 60 degrees, 60 in Greensboro, 62 in Winston-Salem, 65 in High Point, and 61 in Asheboro as well. Clear skies overnight, but the ground is still really wet, and that spells a recipe for some fog to develop. Some patchy fog could be an issue for your Tuesday morning commute. Temperatures in the upper 40s to right around 50 degrees overnight. Now, the big story tomorrow is going to be the wind. It will pick up heading through the afternoon, and late tomorrow afternoon, wind gusts 25 to 30, even 40-mile-per-hour gusts are a possibility. I know we've been talking a lot about wind lately, but this is the windiest time of the year. Makes sense, too. Temperature-wise, starting out in the upper 40s tomorrow, will end up right around 70 degrees with those wind gusts 30 to 40 miles per hour. I'll have a look at your 7-day forecast coming up.
A new survey from the University of Phoenix polled 1,000 people to ask how they are affected by the coronavirus. And their survey showed that 4 in 10 Americans polled feel lonely more lonely than they have ever, really. 19% of those surveyed say it says social distancing, if that goes on too long, it will begin to affect their long-term mental health. While most people reported feeling anxious and overwhelmed, many also expressed feelings of gratitude, saying that they are thankful for their health, their family, and their friends. Americans are also looking towards the future when social distancing guidelines are finally lifted.
You know, the question is, how do we cope with that loneliness? Now, an expert who typically specializes in workplace loneliness has the best practices for handling loneliness.
And I'm a behavioral scientist, so I'm more on the behavioral side of management.
He's actually a loneliness expert. He's spent 12 years with his colleagues studying loneliness in the workplace.
As a human being who happens to be an expert on loneliness, I was struggling myself in the first, few days of this period. How am I feeling? So that made me think, then let's get deeper into this and create a little model, like a mental map.
This is his mental map, SILO. And yes, it's an acronym.
Solitude, isolation, loneliness, and ostracism.
If you feel alone, decide which of these 4 kinds of alone you really feel.
Solitude is a pleasant, alone state to be in. You are just reading your book, you are having a cup of coffee.
Isolation is neutral. It's also physical. Isolation is what social distancing requires out of all of us. Loneliness is a negative emotion, though.
The problem with loneliness is that if it's prolonged, it starts creating some psychological cycles that are hard to break. Ostracism is a reality, it's a social reality. You might be a great person, but if a group of people decide to, exclude you, then you are ostracized.
The idea is, if you're on the negative end of this chart, you can try to work your way up to neutral or positive territory.
Break the silo. These are separate psychological states, and define your state and create a desirable state, because we can manage our moods. We can manage our emotions. That's one of our, emotional intelligence system. So right now we just need to spend extra effort.
So loneliness is very powerful. We hear people talking about this all the time. I would have to say, Maddie, I'm kind of in the solitude thing with this because it's like a little break. But I don't know about you, but I'm slowly going down that list a little bit. I miss social interaction so much with people. It's getting worse for me.
Yeah, I didn't realize there were 4 different kinds of loneliness. I'm glad we have the definitions on that. I'm with you, Chilton. I like the solitude. I like being alone from time to time, right? So this has been a good opportunity, a good excuse for me to cancel plans, right? Yes, all about the power of positive thinking. That's absolutely true. But if you start to go down that silo and feel the negative feelings, definitely reach out to someone, because your mental health is very important.
Very true.
All right, friends, it's one thing to get your stimulus money and you choose to spend it, right? Yes, I'm choosing to spend it. Now, but there are folks that are finding that their stimulus money is simply being taken right out of their accounts.
I want any creditor who's out there trying to garnish people's bank accounts, do not take their economic impact payments. Understand, people need this money to get by. That's what it's intended for. It's not intended to pay debts to you. It's intended to help people survive.
Okay, so North Carolina AG Josh Stein is hoping he's going to change the state laws on this, because right now, as it stands in North Carolina, it is absolutely legal for a creditor or a debtor to be able to take your stimulus money right out of your account. Of course, he's not going to be able to try and help that until this summer when he gets on with legislators.
Okay, Tanya, so that's the state. What about federally? Any help there at all?
So AG Stein wrote a letter with 24 other AGs asking the Treasury to make changes on the federal level that could actually happen before the state. We're going to keep you guys all posted on that. All right, in the meantime, how about getting you answers to your medical coronavirus questions? Folks from Cone Health will be here. You can text your questions to 336-379-5775. We will be answering your questions live starting at 5:30.
I'm over this. Over it. Okay, I'm moving. Does it look frozen? Pixelated? Mmm.
Welcome back to your 4 to 5. This might be my favorite story of the day. A Kernersville High School senior got a big surprise when her family threw her a prom at home. Zoe Collins' prom was originally scheduled for Saturday, but it was postponed until summer because of coronavirus. Well, her parents stepped in to make sure her prom weekend would be special. Her dad volunteered as her date. They took pictures around the neighborhood, and then they headed back to their dining room dance floor.
It was just much more special to spend it with my family and in my house. And I think that even though COVID is ruining a lot of the normalcy for seniors, it's also like making a way for things to be more special, I think.
Collins' prom night even came with tickets and a flower bouquet. Her parents say they had a little bit of help from the dress shop that Zoe ordered her dress from back in January. The family is now encouraging other people to think outside the box for their seniors. They say a little bit of creativity can go a long way. Taheshah, you talk about making a memory. You know, people remember their prom night, but I bet Zoe will never forget this. This is a story she's going to be telling for many, many years to come.
Yeah, and it really is just a nice way to make your daughter feel special or your son at home. You know, there are so many things that are out of our control these days that you can control having a good time with your family, right? So I just encourage others, maybe it's not a prom, but whatever event that you can do as a family, just make memories together. I think that's one of the benefits of this time, is making those long-lasting memories.
Yeah, you talk about getting creative and using your resources to make something special happen. Dad of the Year award, I think, might be going to Zoe's dad this year. I'll have to call the committee for that.
Yeah, if I have a vote, my vote's for him too.
Yeah, got 2 votes, Mr. Collins. All right, let's check in now with Christian Morgan.
Well, the good news is that sunshine and a few clouds across the area. Let me kind of show you the setup and show you kind of what's going on. Cold front weather system that moved through across this morning, it's now moved away from us, moving off the coast. In fact, the rain along our coastline is starting to move away as well with this cold front. We've got high pressure building in, a nice return to nice weather for tonight and really for your Tuesday and Wednesday too. Now we're going to have this dry cold front that comes across the area tomorrow. There's not a lot of moisture with it, so for the most part we stay dry. Just a low end, about a 20% chance of getting a stray shower in the afternoon. But again, it's going to be a mainly dry and nice day. It will be windy in the afternoon. Wind gusts 20 to 25 to 30, even 40 mile per hour gusts are a possibility tomorrow afternoon. Then high pressure builds back in for Wednesday, and we're watching our next system approaching on Thursday with some rain and the possibility for a few thunderstorms that we'll keep you updated on. Temperature-wise across the board right now, temperatures has actually recovered in quite a pretty good way this afternoon. It's been chilly for most of the day with that rain, but we're in the 60s right now, 60 in Greensboro, 61 down in Asheboro. Tonight, under mostly clear skies, we'll get down in the upper 40s to right around 50 degrees. Some fog developing overnight is a good possibility, which could be an issue for your Tuesday morning commute. So just plan a couple extra minutes if you have to get out tomorrow morning. Temperatures warming up to right around 70 tomorrow afternoon. And again, it's just going to be a breezy day. That'll be the main story tomorrow. Wednesday is really, really nice. A bit cooler, sunny, temperatures in the mid-60s. Again, we're watching Thursday for our next system with some rain and the possibility of a few thunderstorms. Some of those showers could linger through the morning hours on Friday, and then we dry out Friday afternoon. Temperatures in the low 70s heading into the weekend.
Coming up on WFMY News 2 at 5, protesters across the nation are gathering, demanding that states reopen, including right here in North Carolina. Reopen NC is planning a protest in front of the governor's mansion tomorrow, saying they'll protest weekly if needed. We're digging deeper into whether it's lawful for the group to protest during these stay-at-home orders. That's coming up on WFMY News 2 at 5.
You know, nowadays we are all about no contact when it comes to shopping, especially with groceries. But one local produce supplier, they're taking their business from restaurants and now selling some of that fresh produce from North Carolina farms directly to you. And they're doing it in a safe way. Take a look.
So this was such an interesting program. When I heard about this, I had to talk to my buddy Scott Bland, who's with Foster Cabinets, and you guys are literally giving away food. How does this work?
Yeah, so we partnered with Out of the Garden Project and Daystar Church, distributed just north of 50,000 pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables, and we've now translated that into a drive-through box program where we take restaurant grade and packaged produce and repacket that into family-sized portions. They're available for purchase and sale, as well as we're donating boxes. Other people can buy boxes and donate those. So we currently have 3 different boxes. We have a fresh fruit box, we have a fresh vegetable box, and then we have what's called our Stay Healthy Kit. So we've got dairy, eggs, just bringing healthy food and good nutrition into family portions.
You had said to me that when you started this, you know, you were doing it because of the need with coronavirus, but I don't think you expected the amount of need in the community, did you?
No, day one, we had 2,000 cars lined up for over 4 hours. And people were crying in their front seats out of gratitude. There's so much need. There's so many people hurting, folks furloughed, folks just really with no end in sight. And I guess the stimulus now is helping some, but there's a lot of need in the Greensboro Triad greater area, and we want to help meet that need.
Hey, Scott, it's a great thing you guys are doing. Thank you so much for taking time out to talk with us today. Keep up the good work.
So let me say one thing. You have to pre-order, by the way. You can't buy while you're there. And this is part of the safety issue, right? Because they say it's no contact. So you pre-order online, you roll up, you tell them your order number through the window if you want to of your car. They put it right in your trunk and you drive right on out. So we have the link on this story in WFMYnews2.com if you'd like to take part in it. And their boxes are fabulous. They cost about anywhere from $20 to $30.
Yeah, that's awesome, Eric. When they saw a need, they immediately filled it. You know, toward the very beginning of this pandemic, when people were just starting to lose jobs, businesses were starting to close, Foster Cabinets was already partnering with local organizations, Out of the Garden Project, Daystar Church here in Greensboro, to give food for free to people who really needed it. So, you know, they've been doing this from the start. I'm glad to see that they're branching out into a way so we can support them now that they're really starting to give back to our communities.
Yes, and the Stay Healthy box, by the way, is one of my favorites because it has milk, it has eggs, it has healthy snacks for kids. It's kind of a hodgepodge of things that just kind of keep you going through the day. All right, so let's talk about this. Sorry about that. That's what happens when you're on live TV from your house. I can't hear what's going on. All right, so I asked you on my Facebook page to talk about this, and basically we were asking you, so what do you think? What would you need? What's your go-to items right now, the stuff that you would need in your pantry? Let's take a look. Tammy Pegram-Riles said, toilet paper and paper towels. We have heard that a lot these days, haven't we? Judy Robinson says, chicken, hand sanitizer, and cleaning supplies. A little bit of everything there. Kathy says fruits, veggies, and dairy. So you could get one of each of those 3 boxes they're selling at Foster Cabinets. Chaz Carter, I love this one. He's going for it all. He said, I want a cow, the whole cow. And then Bambi Shepherd says milk, bread, eggs, and shredded cheese. All of those good items and what everybody wants here. Maddie, I think for me, it would probably be a little bit of everything in those boxes.
You don't want a cow? Just a full cow?
I'll take a cow, but he'd be a pet.
Killed me. That one killed me. Yeah, I could really, you know, I've been doing the grocery delivery services. So they'll just pick up from the local grocery store and bring them to my door. It's no contact too. But I've really been stocking up on things I wouldn't usually eat. Like I've been making scrambled eggs, and it's because I'm at home more often. Like I'm able to cook things where usually I just buy pre-made things that are already good to go. You know, Chef Maddie, I can make scrambled eggs and an English muffin. That's my specialty.
That's it. We just stop right there. I have saved so much money by cooking at home. It's unbelievable.
Well, you know, Eric, if you want to just pack it up in a Tupperware, put it on your front porch, I'll drive by after I'm done here at the station, just get some to go. you know, I'll leave some money in an envelope on your door. All right. Hey, we are still live on Facebook. Share with us what you are making at home. Maybe you're making dinner right now. We want to know what's happening at your house. Use our hashtag 4 to 5. We'll be right back.
Hello, mic check. Hopefully it sounds okay. We've been having some issues during the 4 to 5 mic check.
Hello, mic check from the backyard. Warm weather moving in. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mic check 3 2 1. Mic check 3 2 1. Let me know if you're good. Mic check. Mic check.
I was hoping they opened my mic up on that. Hey, one person was arrested at last week's Reopen NC protest.